Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters. Today I am doing a recap on my monitoring my beauty purchases for April 2019. So this is a sister series to monitoring my beauty purchases from last year, where I basically go over the things that I bought this time 1 year ago and talk about how I feel about them. So I've got palettes here. I've got palettes and then I've got one more thing, but I'll leave I need to put this somewhere. I'll leave the other thing to last because look, I got feelings and let's get deep. Let's get deep into the makeup feels. So first off, Riviera Palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I've had this for a year. I never used it. I haven't used it once. Not a single time. I haven't even swatched it. Fuck, man. This is my issue with makeup. This represents my problem with makeup. This is what I'm trying to not do. This is I knew last year when I started the monitoring my beauty purchases series, I was like, this is my way of staying accountable. And I knew this year when I started this sister series that I still had a long way to go with being accountable for what I'm buying when it comes to makeup. And this is the perfect representation of that. Buying products that I have for a year and I don't fucking use them. It's unacceptable. I just why do I do that? Why? It is, I would say, the remnants of an obsession with buying makeup. And I'm getting better. I'm getting better with that. Everything that I've purchased this year, I've used. Go me. But yeah, this is a perfect representation of, and look, there's going to be a lot of things, everything in this video. Perfect representation of why I need to be more mindful about what I'm purchasing. When I look at this palette, I don't actually have any regret for purchasing it. I have regret for not using it, not finding the time to use it. I actually think it's a really pretty palette and I'm kind of inspired to use it. But I pulled this out a week ago knowing that I was going to film this video this week, so I was sort of preparing myself for it. And when I saw that I hadn't used it, I had a little mental fight. I was like, do I use it so I can talk about it, or do I keep it as is and be real about the situation? And I decided to be real about the situation because that's what this whole fucking series is about. Monitoring my beauty purchases and recapping them. That's exactly why I'm doing this series. So I haven't used it, but I want to. I kind of want to use this Seaside shade because it looks like a grey with maybe hints of taupe or yellow. I don't know. There's cool shades in there. This actually reminds me a little bit, this section here reminds me a little bit of the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. So, maybe even this whole section here gives me those vibes. So I need to dig into it. I need to play with it. It's going to be staying on my desk. I have a little tub of, I'm not going to pick it up because things are going to fall over, but I got a little tub of things that are new in my life that I'm currently playing with, and I'm going to put that in there. Next up, I have this little guy. This is the Viseart Petite Pro in Soleil. I have used this. I've used it a few times, and I actually really like this palette. I fucking love the size of these palettes. I think the pan sizes are absolutely perfect. The palette size is just look at it. It's perfect. It's perfect for using day to day. It's perfect for travel. I want a nude one. I want a nude one of these. I'm not I'm not buying a nude one. I don't think they actually have a nude one yet. But like, I'm not buying one. I'm not buying one, but I want one. Like, it would go on my wish list. But these little palettes, the size of them is perfect. There are 8 shades in there. 8 shades. If you have a good balance of like 4 mattes and 4 shimmers or metallics, you can do so much with fucking 8 shades, and it's perfect for travel. Also, the packaging is almost like, it's almost like inbuilt padding for chucking in a fucking travel makeup bag. Not that we're traveling much now, but that's beyond the point. My point is, I want more small palettes, so when I am leaving the house and I need an overnight bag or a weekend bag or a week-long bag for travel, I can pull out 2 of these palettes and not even be worried to travel with them, because they're so itty-bitty, teeny tiny, but they've got everything you could possibly fucking need in the palette. Also, guys, I'm getting Morphe Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 vibes off this little palette. So clearly my mind has actually been there for some time. But I do really like this little palette. I haven't used it in ages though. I've got to be dead honest. I'm so glad to have it though. Like, beautiful little baby. Next up, I have the NARS Exposed Cheek Palette. So in here we have 6 like face palette powders. We've got, what have we got? Well, it's upside down and back to front, and I don't fucking know. I think what we're gonna have is Tell All, Now or Never. This one would be Give It Away. Then we're going to have Make You Mine, Come Hither, and New Fling. I think might be back to front and upside down. I don't fucking know. Like, just print the goddamn names on the fucking inside of the palette. Or don't even give them names. Who cares? I've used it. I have used it, and I actually really, really like this palette. I was a bit like, oh, do I buy it? I really like the packaging. I really like the colors, but also I don't fucking need it. But I bought it. I went ahead and I did it, and I don't regret it at all. It's a beautiful palette. NARS highlighters, for starters. Fucking stunning. Their bronzing shades are also really, really lovely. Let's get these guys. So that's the lighter one, which for me, way too orange. I'd use it as a blush. That's this one here. It's like a lovely blush shade. And then that one I can definitely use as a bronzer. And then the 3 blushes, these are beautiful. The pinky one, hang on, this is the orange one, which is sort of like a corally shade. This one's really interesting. It's kind of, feels a little bit wet and creamy almost. Then there's the purple shade, and this is the pink. And I'm not vibing the pink too much, but in terms of like how many pans are in the palette, I don't hate that there's that pink in there. Also, it's a little bit, it's different. It's not like, it's kind of like a raspberry pink. Would that be fair to say? Yeah, like a raspberry pink rather than like those fucking Barbie pink shades. Anyway, no regrets with this, but I really have not, like, I haven't reached for it a whole lot since purchasing it, which is a shame. But again, that goes with the whole, I have so many. And because I'm currently working on 2 palettes that I'm panning, I'm just not really reaching for it. But NARS limited edition packaging, I did a video on it, so if you know, you know, and if you don't, you can check it out. Oh, where's it gonna be? It's gonna be I think it's gonna be up there. Might be up there, I don't know. Anyway, you can check it out if you haven't seen it. I really do have a thing for NARS limited edition packaging. I think I'll always have a thing for it. I'll always be driven to buy NARS limited edition things, like the Afterglow palette. Look, they're almost twins. So yeah, look, no, I've not used it enough. Yes, I am happy with my purchase, and yes, it's a beautiful product. So the last thing is a big baby. This was very expensive. This was a thing. This happened. This happened in April. Who remembers? Who was there? Who was there? Look at how far we have come in a year. My, how times have changed. I spotted it on Selfridges, and I didn't think this was going to come to Australia. It did, but it sold out like in the blink of an eye. And the Vault sold out on Selfridges in the blink of an eye as well. It was just by the good graces of God, or the Easter Bunny, or whatever the fuck you believe in, that I actually saw this online when it was in stock, and I managed to buy one for myself and for Kat. So it consisted of the whole Urban Decay Game of Thrones collection, and being such a massive Game of Thrones fan, I obviously was like considering it, and it happened. I think my issue with this thing was when I saw like what was going to be released when we're talking about it on Beauty News and stuff like that, I was a bit like, it's alright, but like, I'm sure you guys could have done a lot better. The things in particular that I didn't really like were the lip and cheek tint thing, like, or lip and cheek stain. Like, can you just stop? Like, it's not great. It's not great. And like, they've tried to release them before, and they weren't great then, and they're not great now. Nothing's changed. Also this, like, if you bought it, you know. It's the Mother of Dragons highlighting palette. Like, what is this? It's a fucking Neapolitan ice cream highlighting palette. Like, this was last year when they released this. This was already fucking 5 years old. Like, oh my god. But they did it. They did it. Oh, it's so bad. It's still bad. It's even worse now. The brushes are pretty cool in terms of like how they've designed them, like the hilts of, or like the handles, which is like the hilt of the sword. These are so beautifully made. Like, these are top notch. They're made of metal. They're weighty. They're like, they're amazing. But their brushes, like this section, like this is still trashy Urban Decay. Like, it's what you find in a fucking Naked palette, for Christ's sake. They're not good. Like, all of the effort went into this end, that end. So there's certain aspects of this collection where I'm like, okay, yeah, they worked hard to, like, you know, do the good shit. And then there's other aspects where I'm like, you failed on functionality. Like, you know, that's the thing. The lipsticks, like, what is this? This is the shade Cersei Lannister. Maybe they made it ugly on purpose. Like, just... It's like a metallic bronze lipstick, and when you put it on, it like goes on patchy and streaky. Then we have Daenerys Targaryen. So this is a red with, like, again, a little bit of metallic shimmer in it. The formula, it's just, the color is beautiful. It's divine. It's a beautiful ruby red. But the formula is like average as balls. Then we have White Walker, and this is like a dark sort of purpley berry. That formula is very nice. So that, I would consider that one of their like cream formulas, like standard cream lipsticks. That one's really nice. It's a color that, like, for me, I would wear it only certain times of the year. And this is Sansa Stark, and this is the biggest fucking flop you've ever seen. Tell me, does that not look like an absolutely beautiful nude? Yes, it does. I know it does. And then you put it on and it's like, the fuck is that? Hang on, let's put it here so you can see it. It's like, huh? It's like a peachy nude that's kind of sheer and it goes on patchy. So, you know, that's so great. Love that. The pencils are fab. So there's 4 pencils. They're great. I still really, really like, no regrets. Pencils, amazing. And then finally we have the palette. The palette. So, okay, for starters, the packaging. Okay, so the packaging is really cool, right? Like Game of Thrones, it's a book, Urban Decay. And then there's a chair here. There's a fucking pop-up chair. And okay, the chair is really cool, but like, it kind of would have been better if you just open this up and the fucking palette's here. Please. Like, please. No, you've got to pull it out. You're going to pull the fucker out. And I can say, since I purchased this, I filmed a review with it, and I haven't touched it since. I can say that I remember the formula of these eyeshadows being top notch. Really, really fucking good. Okay, some of the like color stories, not really my vibe, but it is what it is. It's Game of Thrones themed. It's fairly like, it matches the theme that they've like got the sort of color stories in quite well, and I get it, and the formula is good. So I give it a pass. I give it a pass, and I don't hate it. Look, I am so weird. I'm glad that I bought it. It cost me a bomb, and I fucking haven't touched it since I reviewed it, but I'm glad that I've got it. I am glad. I do kind of consider this a collector's piece, and I'll probably never get rid of it. I think I would like to use it more, but my issue is I keep it all in the box, and that makes me just not dive in there and use the makeup. So maybe I need to take it out. Maybe I need to take it out and put it in like a monthly makeup basket and play with shit, except for that stupid fucking highlighting palette and the stupid lip and cheek tint shit. This collection gives me vibes of like, they started on one product, like the eyeliners, and they were like, fuck yeah, putting in all the effort, doing all the beautiful stuff, like, look at that, that's gorgeous, yeah, smash it out of the park, well done. And then they were like, oh, let's move on to the brushes. Let's make special hilts for them. Yeah, that's great. Wait, we put too much money into this, so we're going to have to go with our trashy bristles. And then someone was like, okay, now let's work on the eyeshadow palette. But they were a little bit tired by this time. They'd had a few too many drinks, and they were just like, let's quickly rewatch some episodes and create some color stories. Yeah, quince. Then they got to the lipsticks and they were like, everyone likes a metallic, haha. Oh, let's make a weird fucking peachy nude sheer shade. Gorgeous. And then by the time they finished the lipsticks, there was 2 groups of people. The ones that were so drunk they'd fallen asleep, and the ones that were still like kicking on. And they were like, let's make a lip and cheek tint. Because, I don't know, seems like a good idea. And after that was done, they were like, all right, one more thing. We need a highlighting palette. And everyone was just like, I want to order pizza or go and get kebabs. Just make it a Neapolitan thing and put eggs on it. The end. So that's kind of how I feel about this collection. Kind of like a little bit of it was, or not a little bit, but a good chunk of it was kind of phoned in, which is, you know, it's a bit sad. I'm really being mindful of not buying makeup for nostalgic or collectors purposes now. I got burnt a little bit last year with it, like the Jessica Rabbit collection from Viseart, this collection from Urban Decay, and the Snow White collection from Besame, that palette. Nope, haven't forgotten. Still don't like it. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to not get sucked into that anymore. But we'll see how we go for the rest of the year. I've still got 8 months to get through of purchases. Oh, plus April, of course. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you purchased any of the products that I talked about in this video, especially this guy, let me know how you're feeling about them 1 year later. I would be very interested to know if you used your Game of Thrones collection extensively, or if you kind of used it for a little while and then put it back in its box and forgot about it. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.